So Warfare Tycoon just recently added the iconic A-10 Warthog to their game, and that means we can finally compare A-10s from War Tycoon, Military Tycoon, and Warfare Tycoon. So how we're going to do this is, we're going to rank the A-10s from each game across 6 categories, and then at the end of the video I'll declare a winner and kind of give some of my final closing thoughts on each one. I should also let you know I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible about these, but at the end of the day it's still my opinion. Like, full transparency, I like War Tycoon. I think Warfare Tycoon is underrated, and I think Military Tycoon is pretty greedy, but I'm going to try not to let that affect the rankings here. With that being said, let's get started with appearance. So at the bottom of the ranking for appearance, we have Military Tycoon. Here's why. So Military Tycoon's A-10 is one of those ancient relics from before GameFam entered the picture. You know, it was that wonderful time before we had loot crates and war passes, but it was also before we had the more detailed models we have now. So check this out. Here's the A-10. Here's some new vehicle. I don't know what I'm going to put here, but it'll probably be the F-35 or something, but you can see the difference, right? Like, the A-10 isn't a bad design by any means, it's just not as detailed as what we're getting today. Now, the thing I do want to talk about from the GameFam era with this is the skins. So one of the first things you'll notice about Military Tycoon's A-10 is that the base skin does not come with the iconic eyes and teeth on the front. No, but there's actually 2 of those you can unlock, one for diamonds and one for freaking Robux, man. And then there's also some kind of snake skin you can unlock for Robux too. Keep in mind, this thing's already a Game Pass, the most expensive one at that. $14.99 Robux for this thing. It doesn't come leveled up already like the ones from the bundle. No, you gotta grind this thing after you buy it, and then it doesn't come with the skins. No, they want to charge you extra for the iconic skins for this Game Pass you just bought. The most expensive Game Pass in Military Tycoon. That really just rubs me the wrong way if you couldn't tell. Because the base design is very basic and they lock these other skins behind Robux on a Game Pass that you already had to pay Robux for, this one's going at number 3 in the design ranking. So for the number 2 spot for the appearance ranking, I'm going to put Warfare Tycoon's A-10. And here's why. Like, I could be wrong, but this thing looks like it's a free model. Maybe a modified free model, but nonetheless, I'm not entirely sure this one was modeled in-house by Warfare Tycoon. If I'm wrong on that, please feel free to correct me. But even then, and even if we overlook Military Tycoon's greediness and just focus on the designs, Warfare Tycoon's A-10 still looks better than Military Tycoon's in my opinion, but only on the outside, because unlike Military and War Tycoon's A-10s, Warfare Tycoon's A-10 does not have an interior first-person view, and so that means War Tycoon gets the top spot for appearance, and here's why. This one does look like they modeled it themselves. It's got the same level of quality you've come to expect from all of War Tycoon's vehicles. They've been doing this a while, and it especially comes with the iconic face on the front. Like, they really did it justice here. By the way, I should probably note that War Tycoon's vehicles also have a level system, but it's way different and far less grindy than Military Tycoon's. Like, you don't get Game Pass vehicles pre-leveled here either, but at least they keep that consistent here. It's not like Military Tycoon where the most expensive Game Pass does not come level, but then these pricey, super pricey bundle vehicles, like I think one of them's like a railgun tank or something like that, or a nuke zeppelin, I can't remember, but you get those and they're already level 50 when you get them. So I just wanted to clarify that just in case someone says, well, War Tycoon has levels too. Well, there you go. All right, let's talk about weapons now. This one's going to be another close one between Military and Warfare Tycoon, but I think it's really just up to personal preference here. But I'm going to go ahead and put Military Tycoon's A-10 at number 3 over here too. So Military Tycoon's A-10 comes with a machine gun with explosive rounds, really cool, that can be fired for a while before it needs to be reloaded, and the reload time is actually really quick. Like, it's what you would expect from a Game Pass vehicle, and it also comes with a whole bunch of missiles, and the reload time on those are really quick too. It is worth noting that Military Tycoon's A-10 is the only one that doesn't come with bombs, but it's also the only one that comes with like a free aim. Like the other A-10s, you actually have to line them up with your target and fire at them like an actual jet. With this one, you can just move the mouse anywhere you want and aim pretty much anywhere. And I actually really like that feature because it takes away the need for skill, and just you can click wherever you want and fire and hit your target pretty easily. Honestly, if it weren't for the fact that you have to grind levels to get the most out of these weapons, I would probably rank this one a little higher. But at number 2 on weapons, it's going to be Warfare Tycoon's A-10 again. So like the Military Tycoon one, this one comes with a machine gun and the missiles, but it also comes with 2 500-pound bombs. And one of the first things you'll notice about Warfare Tycoon's A-10 is it runs out of ammo within seconds. Like, I think it's 2 or 3 seconds. 3 seconds might be generous. But that 2-second machine gun does a lot of damage. You can destroy people pretty quickly with Warfare Tycoon's A-10. And it reloads pretty quick too. The missiles are fun as always, and it's just really nice that this one actually comes with bombs. And then at number 1 for weapons, we of course have War Tycoon's A-10. This one has the same weapons as Warfare Tycoon's A-10, but with a big bonus here. So first of all, the machine gun, it can be fired a lot longer without needing to be reloaded, but the big feature here is the smart lock-on bombs. Really cool feature here, War Tycoon. You fly over a target, wait for the circle to turn green, drop the bombs, and you're good to go. All right, now we're going to talk about sound design, and at number 3, we actually have Warfare Tycoon this time around. So the biggest thing Warfare Tycoon's A-10 has going for it in the sound design category is the machine gun. It sounds fantastic, but the bombs on this one are kind of hard to hear over the flying sounds. Like if you get close enough to the ground and drop them, you can kind of hear them explode and they sound fine. And then the missiles, I don't know if they're bugged or not, but I just never did hear any like missile sounds for the A-10 and Warfare Tycoon. But the biggest negative I found here for Warfare Tycoon's A-10 is the sound does not change no matter where you have the throttle. Whether you're going full blast or cruising, no matter what, the flying sound sounds the exact same. Not a deal breaker overall for the jet, but it does definitely bring it down in the sound design category. At number 2 on sound design, we have Military Tycoon's A-10. So the flying noise here sounds pretty much like every other jet in Military Tycoon, and that's not a good thing when your jets sound like a dying vacuum cleaner. The machine gun here sounds about the same as its other jets. I tested the F-18 and like the F-18 and the A-10 sound like they both had the same sound effect for the machine guns. But I will say Military Tycoon's A-10's machine gun does sound pretty good if you go in the first person view. I mean, it does sound a bit like you're having diarrhea from the cockpit, but nonetheless, it's a cool sound effect. And they also score a few points here just for having a different flying noise depending on where the throttle is. And at number 1 for sound design is War Tycoon. So huge points here for having a dedicated sound, not just for the drivable A-10, but also the airstrike A-10s you can call in. Both of them sound like actual jets, not vacuum cleaners. Big points for that one. And just like Military Tycoon, the sound does change depending on where you have the throttle, and the missiles sound good. The bombs sound really good too. The bombs actually have that cartoony sound to them, so nice little added touch there. Now it's time to talk about controls. At number 3, Warfare Tycoon. So Warfare Tycoon's A-10 controls are about what you'd expect from any game that has jets in it. The only reason this one's at the bottom for controls is because you have to individually select each weapon to use it. So like you have to hit the number 2 key and then you can fire your missiles, or you have to hit the number 3 key and then you can fire your bombs. Military and War Tycoon both have dedicated buttons for the weapons. Nice little quality of life feature there. And at number 2 on controls is Military Tycoon, because I'm gonna say Military Tycoon kind of has the easiest controls for like all their vehicles across these games. Like, I'm not saying that being able to take off almost vertically with any jet in the game is realistic, but it is pretty easy to the point where almost any casual player could jump into Military Tycoon and immediately know how to fly a jet. The biggest downside to Military Tycoon's flight controls is having to manually control the throttle with a mouse. That sucks. And then number 1 for controls is by far War Tycoon. Let me tell you why. So I'm going to say War Tycoon's A-10 and its other jets aren't quite as easy to fly as Military Tycoon, but when you do figure out to fly them, they are so much more fun. Like, first of all, you control the throttle with the W and S keys, not the freaking mouse. Second of all, and this is the big one, maneuverability. I tested the A-10 controls in all 3 of these games. War Tycoon's is the only one that lets you do barrel rolls, flips, just all kinds of crazy tricks and stuff like that. Like, they seriously nailed the flight controls here. They win on controls by a long shot. Next up, we're ranking these by accessibility, and number 3 is Military Tycoon. Technically, this is the easiest one to get if you have Robux, because it's a Game Pass. And the most expensive one. And you also have to have 5 rebirths. So if you have $14.99 Robux on you, this one's the easiest to get. If not, then it's not. It's going at number 3. At number 2 is actually War Tycoons. This one actually takes some effort to unlock. So first of all, you need 7 rebirths just to unlock the plane operations. Then you have to grind your butt off to complete that operation. And then you still have to pay $1.3 million of in-game cash just to buy the button for this thing before you can finally fly it. It's a long process, but it's free. Otherwise, you can pay just $10.99 Robux to unlock it right away. That's a little bit cheaper than Military Tycoons, but you'll still need those 7 rebirths and $1.3 million of in-game cash. Have fun. And so that means that number 1 on accessibility is Warfare Tycoons. The only requirement to get this one is you have to have 5 prestige. It takes for freaking ever to get there, but once you do, it's yours. You don't even have to pay in-game cash for it. It's free. And for that reason, I'm giving Warfare Tycoon number 1 on accessibility. All right, this might be the most important one on the list, fun factor. And number 3, again, is Military Tycoon. Just because flying in general in Military Tycoon just feels so much slower than these other games. Like, even if you use the Hypersonic Boost Game Pass in Military Tycoon, this thing just, if you go from Warfare Tycoon or War Tycoon back to Military Tycoon and try their vehicles, they all feel like snails, man. Snails in the sky. Okay, number 1 and number 2 were close here, but I'm actually going to put War Tycoon at number 2 for fun factor. This one's still a lot of fun to fly. You get all the weapons to play with, and they just really made the thing fantastic for ground assault like it was designed for. They did the A-10 justice here, and it's very, very fun to fly in War Tycoon. But I'm going to put Warfare Tycoon's A-10 at number 1 for fun factor. One of the biggest reasons for this is it spawns in mid-freaking air. Kind of like the B-2 and B-29 in War Tycoon, but yeah, the A-10 in Warfare Tycoon, all of Warfare Tycoon's jets spawn in mid-air because they don't really have a runway. But it just feels so good, man. It spawns in, you're immediately in the cockpit. Like the moment you click that spawn button, you're already in mid-air, going fast, you're in the flight seat, and it feels just so satisfying every time. And it just kind of feels faster than the other ones. I think a lot of that is just because Warfare Tycoon's map is smaller than the other games. But man, you can zip across the map quick with this thing and terrorize everyone in the server. But also another thing that really adds to the fun factor here is that Warfare Tycoon just doesn't have a lot of jets in the first place. And then you take this one, Prestige 5, it's the hardest one to get. Owning one of these means like you're a freaking legend, man. You spawn one of these in a server, you pretty much rule the server. And if you join into a server with one of these, you're gonna hide and crap your pants in fear. These things have a freaking presence in Warfare Tycoon. It feels a lot like when the F-35 first released in Military Tycoon and they were terrorizing everyone. Or even the F-16 before it. That was the first one that gave us the napalm bombs or whatever. It's just one of those big moments where everyone's gotta have the A-10 in Warfare Tycoon. These things are epic. And there you have it, that's the ranking. Overall, War Tycoon's the winner here. They win by a long shot in just pure quality. The model's nicely designed. It sounds fantastic. It's fun to do the maneuvers and stuff. Controls are great. Military Tycoon's A-10, I feel like has a lot of potential. It just needs a huge rework. I wish they wouldn't lock the iconic skins behind Robux and medals and or diamonds, whatever. Just really needs a huge rework, and that one might have potential. But Warfare Tycoon's A-10 just straight up makes you feel like king of the sky. Like, they did a really good job on this one. For fun factor, I think you could put Warfare Tycoon or War Tycoons at the top there, and you'd have fun with either one of them. Military Tycoon, you got to work on yours, man. You just got to work on yours. But go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know how you would rank the A-10s across these games. Which one's your favorite? Because whichever one is your favorite, that's the best one. You got it right there. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like my Game Pass ranking videos. I'll link them over here so you can watch those. Hope you enjoy those. I'll see you on over there. Hope you have an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching, dude. I appreciate you.